Welcome to Witchcast!
'Cause it's Witchcast.
I'm Emily.
I'm Kate.
And we're your co-hosts of this, the Witchcast podcast.
That's right, we're your learning, growing, ever-evolving novice witches here to explore everything under the woo-woo, esoteric, spiritual umbrella.
And I feel like this season has really been like a celebration of the whole umbrella, and we're getting a lot of very fascinating people in, and today we have another one. Our special guest, she's an author, a poet, she's a trading post witch in her words. Please welcome Lauren Parker.
Woo! Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so
Thanks
happy
for
to have
being
you.
here. First things first, what's a trading post witch?
Okay. So some of it was that I'm a very aesthetic driven person, I think, like anybody. And I think anybody that falls under the witchcraft umbrella. And so one of my friends once described my aesthetic as like trading post witch. They're like, it's like, queer icon. What are you going to do? And now it's kind of actually my bartering system for a lot of the witchcraft that I work in. It means a lot to me to kind of like be in a little bit more of an exchange place than it is like kind of like a compensation space. And it just sort of stuck, and here we are.
I love that.
It also gives me like very like Ren Fair vibes. Or, D&D vibes. Do you partake in any of those cultures?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a frequenter in most nerd communities, either like through friendship or otherwise.
I feel like the Ren Fair witchcraft Venn diagram is like almost a
so
straight
many
circle.
of us discover both our sexualities and our witchiness through the poet shirt of 1990s films, and that really is the gateway drug to Ren Fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're talking about the white flowing, like
I've grown up to become Thackeray Binks. That's what.
Oh my god! Like it's like so big on him, and it's like just hanging off his like little body. I wanted to be that.
Yeah, I rewatched Hocus Pocus, and I definitely grew up on like the TV edited for TV version, which meant that the entire like part where this 16-year-old long-haired boy is just falling down a ravine getting his shirt torn off was absolutely edited out. And I was like, 12-year-old me would have lost her mind.
Right, yeah, to know that there was a cutscene where you could see more.
100%. Like I was like, I'm so glad I'm no longer in puberty.
It is so weird looking back at the things we used to watch with like these preteen boys and how in love we were with them. Like Devin Sawa and Casper, didn't he also wear a big flowy white shirt?
Yes, he did.
The Mummy, classic for flowy shirts.
Oh, that is just bisexual heaven right there.
I'm gonna say Muppet Treasure Island, although I'm not sure.
Oh yes. Even though if
heaven,
you rewatch it, that looks like a very bad wig. But also Tim Curry. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. We were just watching Rocky Horror Picture Show the other night, and I was like, gosh damn, that man, he is just amazing. Like
he's damn fine.
Yeah. And he's doing really well. I just watched a recent interview with him, and he's recovering quite well from his stroke. I'm incredible the amount of progress he's made. God bless him.
So Lauren, you obviously fit in here immediately, but we should probably talk about you.
Right, back to learn.
What, you don't want to hear my working dissertation on how if you had a crush on a boy in the 90s, you're gay now? Anyway.
I was just going to say, they were kind of feminine with their hair being
with the
long
and hair and the flowy shirts and
very lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I grew up to dress like them. You know what I mean? Like that's my style icon.
Yeah.
All I wore was like leggings and big t-shirts as a kid, and still now to this day that's what I mostly wear.
The Kate uniform.
Yeah.
So Lauren, tell our listeners a little bit about you. You made a spell deck, an oracle deck, and you have so many other wonderful things you do.
Yes.
Give us the rundown.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I'm an author, particularly in the witchcraft space, and I put out with Simon & Schuster a deck of spells this year. That's sort of meant to kind of help people through the kind of the frustration or the challenges that they have with witchcraft. I was a mentor for one of my friends when she wrote her memoir, The Witching Year, Diana Helmuth. And this was her process of really kind of diving deeper into kind of her spirituality from a kind of alternative and pagan and lens. And so we were spending a lot of time having conversations and I was a part of the book. And I got to really watch her have a lot of anxiety. I mean, just sort of in general, love you, Diana. But specifically around spellcraft.
Right.
Right. I think that the spellcraft part of things is really where a lot of the imposter syndrome kind of comes in. And like the thing that I have found that has helped so much with kind of that is to remember that this is all folk participation and all folk crafting. Like this is the most tangible magic you can make. And I'm a person that tends to be very attached to like low magic and the magic of what we do on Earth and like kind of the things that bind us to Earth, because so much about, I believe, the human experience is like understanding how we connect to each other, but also how we connect to our environments and kind of very animist that way. So making crafts and making things and doing magic in this very tangible way was a easier step for me of kind of doing the greater, bigger workings than it was trying to start esoteric and then kind of matriculate down. That was really 100%. Kind of a way that did it. And so I really designed the deck around all of the things that I think the average person experiences. Like I say this kind of in the write-up. I've been sick, I've been lovelorn, I've been broke, and everybody I've cared about has been in the same situation. And, you know, a lot of these things are kind of meant to problem solve. You know, magic is a realm of the poor and the marginalized. And, you know, what are our needs and how do we solve them? Yeah. And so it's really, really shaped by that and a lot of fun. And you shouldn't have to go out and buy a billion things to do it. And that was kind of my philosophy when designing the deck.
Amazing. 100%. I feel like I'm dying to have you like read a spell now, even though we're going to pull a card from it later. How do you feel about that? Just like so people get a sense of what's in there. So they can really dive in.
So there's 40 spells just kind of as a tour. So it's like everything from money magic to love magic. And then also about 10 introduction cards about kind of like, you know, what it's for. I talk a little bit about the law of attraction and like what meditation should feel like, because I think there's a lot of like
I love
expectation of what things can be. And often things are slight and also developmental. Like a lot, I think we talk about magic like it's a thing you do once. And it's actually kind of a thing you build on and kind of do all the time. Yeah. And so, okay, this is actually one I'm really proud of. And I was unsure about it when I included it in the deck. So now we're being vulnerable here, but it's one of the ones, and it's called a Coping with Change Kite spell. Ooh. And all of the backs, there's like the different like versions of the back art so that you can kind of like know where in the deck it's kind of falling for theme. Oh. And this one's got a little candle on the back because it's creativity and illumination. And so I've got an ingredient list here, and they're pretty good size. You can write on them if you want to. And I always start with a glass of water. I believe in hydration, and you should have some.
Everyone drink water right now.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Chug,
do it regardless, really.
A large piece of paper, colored pencils, a 20-inch stick, then a 24-inch stick, string or twine, glue, and additional scraps of colored paper. And then I have the steps, which is, step 1, take 3 deep breaths and drink your glass of water. Start with decorating your large piece of paper. Pick up your colored pencils and just start creating. Draw and write. Narrate the story of the change that you're making, whether you feel overwhelmed, stressed, or panicked. And step 2 is setting aside your paper, form a lowercase t with the sticks, and tie them together at the center. This is your kite frame. Then wrap string around the ends of the sticks so that it creates a diamond. Step 3, lay your kite frame on the paper and measure it so that it's within 2 inches of your kite frame. And then fold the border over and glue it around the frame and let it dry. And in the dry time, you can kind of like think about your change and think about what you're kind of engaging with. And then step 4, when your kite dries, cut little bows out of your colored paper and write your wishes and hopes on them. Then attach those bows to a cut string to serve as your kite tail. And then step 5, tie a long piece of string to the center of your kite and go outside and fly it. Let the wishes fly it off and let it soar and crash.
Yay!
That's
Isn't that
so
amazing?
Cool. I want to go do that right now.
I know, right? I think also, so much of play is such an incredible, important part of magic.
Yes. There's so much I think that you just touched on in the last like few minutes that's really quite profound. Also, I'm sorry, I am having such a like bimbo moment. I'm like, oh my god, crafts. Spellcraft. It's just spellcraft is just doing crafts that are witchy. Oh my god! Like I'm just like I can't believe I never
craft
realized.
Is the path, witch is the job. That's the mantra.
Lauren just dropping bombs over here. That's
I've been known to do that. I'm a decent talker.
That's amazing. You should have a podcast.
Oh God.
But I think this is so great and accessible for people because I agree. I think the spell casting, spell crafting is the most intimidating thing for a lot of people who are in the broom closet or witch curious.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, and the reason honestly Emily and I even started this podcast is because, especially like 6 years ago, it felt like you had to be initiated. You had to have years and years and years of research. You had to be an expert. And there had to be this big sense of like pomp and circumstance and like,
when we started, I thought
think it depends on what kind of witch you want to be.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It depends on your practice. And of course, some practices, absolutely. And those they're closed. We've talked to some people who are like certified in this. I don't know what the word I'm trying to find is, but I think for those who are exploring folk magic, like you mentioned, like low magic, it is a way of life, and it is something, your connection to your own practice is so personal. Like when Emily and I did a binding spell together several years ago, one thing that I always loved about Emily is that she's so casual when she speaks to the universe and the gods and goddesses.
Well, I feel really silly trying to be like serious because it's like I'm not like, I don't know. I don't approach the world in a serious way. Like I wouldn't, even if I were praying like back when I went to regular church sometimes, or like original, that other church, not original, but
the one we don't talk about. Yeah.
Like it would be like, hey God.
raised Protestant? Were you raised Protestant?
No, Catholic. I just never got any good at it. Yeah.
Which is like, Catholic is so that like it's all about ceremony.
Yeah. Well, I was like sort of raised, my dad was Catholic, my mom wasn't, and so I didn't really have like, not like they was, my relationship with the whole thing was always sort of weird and fraught. So like,
yeah. But I love the point being like, I love that because it's so you and it's so personal and like, even though, you could call it quote unquote casual, I think that idea of just doing and just going for it and just really feeling it out without self-judgment and self-shame and self-editing is more important, especially in the beginning of your journey, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's easy. One of the teachers that I had when I was saying I have this incredibly hard time of like closing my eyes and like kind of believing, and she's like, I think you're just there's this audience in your head that you think is somehow heckling you, and they're not there.
yeah.
And that's such a freeing reminder, and just sort of all things. And we talk about this a lot. To be free is to be cringe, but like.
Yes, truly.
And it's being not good at something is like a really important part of it. And being ill practiced and trying to find the motivation anyway. A friend of mine, I think a couple of years ago, she said, I got my first tarot deck, and I was like, great. And she's like, how does one learn tarot? And I said, I recommend developing an ill-advised, just debilitating crush. And then you'll pick every card 3 times over the course of 72 hours. And then that's how you learn. And that's how like we all learned.
Holy shit, you're so right.
and then it's like it builds from there, right? Like, so say like that's how you do it, and then you put it down for a little while, and then you find a deck you like a little better, and then you work with that a little bit more intentionally. And so and then you're me, where you go to a wedding and you have a tarot deck in your backyard, and then you start like getting deeply invested in whether one of the bridesmaids and the best man hook up, and then you're like doing tarot card readings, and that's my life.
I was just gonna say, and then like the next step is obviously to tell people you can do tarot readings, and then
just doing it for them. It's actually really important. Like you feel very self-serious and you feel so smug, but I'm like, actually, I think you're really like, everything is a sleepover where the parents have already gone to bed and you are like, now you're doing the magic. I think that the element of service is it's easier to motivate it, because like if you're just pulling cards for you, like your life is only so big, it can only be so big. So this is like really where kind of community service, especially from the perspective of witch, whether you're in a community of other witches or you're a community of just sort of other people, is just it's such an incredible motivator, because you just don't get dopamine from your own stuff after a while. Like you just get kind of bored.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
And it's so great when it goes well and someone's like, oh my god, that's exactly right. And you're like,
I know.
yeah,
It's-
universe, go.
Well, right. If you're like me at all, sometimes I'll have people come out of the woodwork and they said, I think about what you said all the time. And I go, oh no.
Yeah.
Yes, that's been happening to me. And it's so funny because I don't remember what I read for them.
I've
like,
started to get
glad
really
it
good at it. Where I'm like,
signified for you.
yeah, I'm like, when people are like quote me back to me, I'm like, that sounds like me, but it also sounds like the thing I said when I forgot I was talking. And that's real.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You remember my favorite pause words.
Yes.
Write them on my grave.
I've been doing a lot of readings lately for friends to raise donations for family in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
And I read for and then also to practice, like Emily said, to cram when we did have a gig.
Yeah. If you have to do it.
You have to. If it's a deadline, if other people are counting on you.
Because no matter how many times I pull that justice card, I have no idea how it applies to anybody's life.
And damn justice card. I literally was just looking up the other day justice versus judgment and how they differ and what that journey is. Anyway, it's very interesting. But my coworker asked me for a reading and he and his girlfriend were on a break. And of course, he wanted to know about like his relationship. And I pulled the 10 of Cups for the third position. It was just a 3-card reading. And I was like, okay, hear me out. I was like, please don't get too excited. Like I had to like.
It's actually one of my least favorite cards.
And really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. I'm going to finish the story, but then I want to hear why.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he got so excited. And I always give people all the different possible interpretations. But I'm like, that doesn't mean that you're going to get back together or anything like that. It could mean like your view of what happily ever after means is going to evolve or change or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gave him the whole spiel. And he was just like grinning ear to ear and super happy. And he like logged off and I was like, fuck, this is, and then a few months later, they did get back together and they're now like several years later, happily, like they're still fine. So he tells to this day, he's like, man, that reading was crazy. And
I feel like somebody walked across my grave just now. Like, I was just
like ooh. But I don't really like to tell that story because I don't want people to think that I'm going to tell you that you're going to get back together with your ex. But anyway, Lauren, why do you hate the 10 of Cups?
Okay, so I actually did a TikTok video of like all the cards that I hate getting because I had
that's a good idea,
right? So and then there's the ones that I also like getting and they're just as controversial. But the 10 of Cups is one of my least favorite cards because it's always sort of asking me the same question. All the cups are full. Is it enough? Do you like what you're drinking?
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
It usually means that this situation has reached. This is the most it can give you. Is it enough? And usually the answer is no. That's why I'm there.
Oh, I love that interpretation though. Damn, that's savage.
Brutal but beautiful.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I
but
tend to be, but I'm
beautiful.
very pro 10 of Swords. So, you know.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Speak on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I once had a friend ask me, she was like, what's the difference between like the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords? 2 iconically not great cards. And I was like, the 10 of Swords is better because the 3 of Swords, you can feel every single one of those swords. You can feel where they enter, where they kind of ram through, and where they poke out. 10 swords, you can't feel anything anymore. You're dead. Like you're done. You've reached it. This is it. This is as bad as it's going to get. This is the crescendo of suffering.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It is like a light at the end of the tunnel, at least.
Absolutely.
You're done.
Absolutely.
This is the max. Like,
I'm like,
you know,
like the 10 of Cups is, it's like, this is the most it can give you, and it's like, this is the most it's gonna give you.
Right.
Wow.
Do you like it? Is
Yeah.
it good?
I love that interpretation. Yeah. No, I agree about the swords. I personally, of the swords, really hate 9. 9 is hard for me.
Because 9 is that you're doing it to yourself.
Yep. Yep. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. The swords, like, they're not cuddly. They're not fun.
No.
Like, I'm not
No.
going to come on here and say that they're like this great suit secretly and everybody's hatred of them isn't justified.
You're dropping off the hottest take in tarot.
Yeah. Swords, they're sweet, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good.
I do think the 7 is a good reminder that, you know, you can be a thief when you need to be, and that's really important. And
Yeah.
I
do like that interpretation. Like sometimes it can be others are doing that to you, but sometimes you have to be that one who's like,
steal it back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do. I like a little, like, if I'm gonna get a sword, I want one of the deception ones. You know?
Yeah.
I want a little, like,
Scorpio.
Keep it interesting, you know?
I relate to that, like a mask or like a.
Wait, so speaking of, we were gonna ask you during the recording, Lauren, what are your big three?
Do you have a guess?
Oh God, I'm so bad at this.
I get
Every
that.
time we guess, we get it completely wrong. So just tell us. It's embarrassing for us at this point.
Okay, well, I feel like there's. Wait, I'm gonna say just
Okay.
like off the bat. We've only been talking for a few minutes. I do get some Aquarius energy, but maybe you get that a lot. I don't know. Maybe like I don't know why. I also get like a little Cancer. But go on.
Oh, okay. So Aquarius Sun. So well done.
Yeah.
And yes, exactly. Taurus Moon and Capricorn Rising.
Okay, it's not fair for me to say this after, but I was going to say Taurus energy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, no, that's great.
I have a Capricorn stellium in my first house, so I'm very Saturnian. And then on top of that, I've got like a Taurus Moon Mars conjunction, same degree in my fifth house. Like they're right on top of each other. So I'm very earthy.
Yeah, very earthy.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh, that's fun. That's a fun triad. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of those signs. I mean, well, we've talked about the signs we don't like. We don't have to go there.
It's complicated. Everybody's got a little bit of everything.
Everyone's great.
You know,
Everyone's
That's why the one that contains everything is the worst. It's Pisces, by the way.
And of course, we can all say it together. That is Pisces.
Yeah, trash can.
Oh, I love Pisces. That's so funny.
You can have them. They are more for you.
All you Pisces over here, gang. Pisces gang, hang out. Okay, well, I want to talk more about your other work too. You're a poet as well. You've also, so talk to us about your writing and how you approach that. How do you approach witchiness into your work as well? I'm curious.
Yeah, I think I ultimately identify as a writer more than I identify as anything else. I've been telling stories since I was a kid. I come from a long line of storytellers, read liars. And I've been performing at open mics since I was like 9 years old. Like I've just been really, really in it. And it's the great love of my life. And it's a very adult love. It's very fraught and contentious at times, but she was my first. So here we are. And I think that like ultimately what you are doing with witchcraft, ultimately, especially the way that I kind of tend to practice it is about connection. And I can't think of it more than you can give a person than a story. That always gives them something to walk away with. I studied creative writing in college, and then have since gone on to be a journalist and an essayist, and I've published 2 collections of poems, and including some literary erotica, because I like to keep it interesting.
I've written literary erotica too.
As you say, Emily has too.
Yep.
You should send us those links later.
So I'm in the Bay Area, and for a long time we had a literary erotic competition show called Shipwreck. And
amazing.
I wrote a lot for that, and it even got published in an anthology, like by a real publisher and things. And so I've done
drop that title.
It's called Loose Lips, everybody.
Nice.
I've done Little Women.
Listeners.
I've done Winnie the Pooh. I've done Great Gatsby, and but my crown jewel was Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, where I wrote 1,200 words of slam poetry about Jack Kerouac fucking Tom Wolfe, but desperately wishing he was fucking his suit. I'm also like a real writer too, but I'm really proud of this.
Wow. Are these available to read anywhere?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So again, Loose Lips came out, I think, with Simon & Schuster in like 2015. And then I think they used to be hosted online with recordings, actually a podcast for Shipwreck. So
okay, you'll have to send us links and we'll link it on our website on witchcastpodcast.com, because I, for one, would love to read those. And I'm sure our listeners would too.
It's nice to walk down memory lane. That was a really, really, really cool time.
Oh man, I was gonna say, are you in New York? Do you want to come be on our show next week?
No, I'm on the West Coast. I'm sorry.
Oh man, but by the way, guys, our show is Monday the 27th.
Oh yeah, as a reminder to our lovely listeners, we have a live show at Littlefield, Brooklyn on Monday, October 27th.
Check out Witchcast Podcast on Instagram for the link for the tickets. Thanks. Okay,
please come. Please come.
Please come.
Please don't make us beg. We really want you to come.
Please come for me. I can't go.
Oh,
So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Come for Lauren. Otherwise, she will cry.
That's true.
So,
Mm.
what? So yes, the poetry, the writing. Oh, and we were going to talk about your witchcraft and how in your practice and how you
Yeah.
would
When did
work
you
that
first
into.
know you were a witch?
Right. Well, yeah. So I would love to say it was puberty, and puberty didn't go great, but
Really, mine was spectacular.
I'm
if
like
I could
6
go
feet.
back to one age, it would be 14.
I'm like 6 feet tall. It was not a good time. But I think I got like kind of interested. I think I was about 11 when I kind of started to like futz around with it. But I was like, yeah. But then I like watched The Craft and like
Yeah.
practical magic. And then like, I
Mhm.
don't know, teetered away from it. Like I wasn't a dedicated student to it. And so then you had Borders, remember Borders, and the $5 book section. And you'd go and you get your $5 books, and I would get them and I would barely read them. Like I like couldn't get myself to really kind of invest in the literature, which is kind of embarrassing considering that I'm a writer and a reader. So there you go. And then when I graduated from college, I moved to New England. And the Temple of Witchcraft is based out there, which is a Cabot tradition, kind of initiatory practice, and they do kind of opening community rituals. And I started going to rituals, and it was just like really great to go and have all the best part of church, which was the potluck after and the hanging out.
I was gonna say the last time I went to church, it was for the free bagels and coffee that they
100%. It's the donuts. Yeah. So you go and like someone reads a story, or you do a little thing, and you stand up and you sing, and you hang out with, people that you like or don't in some situations. But I always had a decent church's experience. And then at the end, there's like food, and it's like nice, and you get to hang out. And that was always the part that I really liked. And so then to have this in a non-traditional space was great. And so then I did about like 3 years of study. I moved to the West Coast. And then I was in their mystery school remotely, and I'm a level 3 initiate, and that was all really wonderful and informative. And if you really like kind of a traditional school environment of like textbooks and kind of going through things, it's a great setup. I do recommend it. But I'm not that great of a student. I'm like an officious know-it-all. I'm like, but I'm not like a particularly dedicated student in that particular way, and I have to like kind of dictate what I want to do. I'm pretty rebellious. I'm not terribly compliant, and so I had to kind of like find my own way into it, and I had to follow my brain a little bit, and so a lot more of my magic really came from considering the environment around me, which is I live in a very, very urbanized environment, and like one of the things that I do is I go on like my little collections and my little foraging, and it's like, we have busted windows everywhere. Well, I don't know when I'm going to need the, glass from a busted out window. I think maybe I might need that. And so like kind of like the ways that like kind of you allow yourself to become like a magpie and kind of collect trinkets.
Yes.
I started creating like scrying mirrors and like divination tools, and doing that like kind of for myself, creating my like working a lot more with like cartomancy and like and working with playing cards and kind of creating my own things. And once I kind of started to trust that I could turn my brain off a little bit and just sort of allow kind of creativity to dictate what I was doing, a lot of it just got more and more of a naturalistic witchcraft path that works for me in particular. And then I started working with like bones and animal remains and making a lot of jewelry, and that was kind of like making things and giving them to people became the way that I really kind of truly accessed what I consider a lot of my magic. And then it made going back and reading a lot of the really hard stuff easier, because I was motivated by something other than I got told that I was supposed to care about this. Now I know why I care about it. And I think that sometimes, especially as we kind of talked about before, that queer people with ADHD, sometimes you need to give your brain like freedom to kind of like run around and to not be a border collie of your brain, and just sort of like allow it to meander as much as it can. And I think, witchcraft is a meandering path anyway. So, and that's kind of how that kind of came together for me.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love it. And what does your practice look like now?
Okay.
Speaking?
Yeah. So it's like very robust and day to day. So like I always like wear like hoodoo oils in my hair. I have kind of like a boneyard where I go and like make kind of like art pieces and things like that. I make Ouija boards. I have a daily petition that I do with Saint Raphael. I'm a chronically ill person. And so I have kind of a healing altar and a couple other altars that I use. I'm getting more and more officious about the conditions of my materials. I want to make everything. So I've started like weaving my own candle wicks.
Ooh,
Because why not?
Yeah. Why not?
So it's just like me out like foraging for pine needles to weave into candle wicks. And so like it's like this very right. It's like this kind of very like deeply entrenched craft practice. So it looks like a lot of little things all the time. And that's just kind of the way that really works out for me. I don't really identify as a pagan. I don't work with a pantheon particularly. I tend to be more of a little bit more of a chaos magician, and that I believe that belief is a tool that you wield. And I believe in using materials and exchanging materials with other kinds of practitioners. Like I mentioned before that, like, I work with hoodoo oils, and I've got a friend that makes them, and we trade. And that becomes really important in kind of not only cultural exchange and like the exchange of the land that we live on and share community space with, but also kind of like reverence to other people's cultures. And I think that's really important too. And so, yeah, that's the kind of practice that I do. And then I right now I'm doing a lot of things around invisibility spells for friends of mine for ice, and trying to doing a lot of like law away wards and things like that, things that we need.
Yeah, I love that. I think exchange, I want to talk a little bit about that. And I also want to talk about ancestor work because I know you do that as well.
I
I
do.
think that's so important. And we talk about this quite a bit on the pod too. We've said it kind of in passing that, one thing we've learned in this podcast by interviewing so many different people from different walks of life and practices and levels of expertise, and just doing the work ourselves, is like by doing your research and knowing where things come from and speaking to others who know more than you're able to then kind of make mindful, thoughtful decisions in your own practice,
Yeah.
in a way that's still reverential and respectful. Because I think there's a lot of commodification, there's a lot of capitalist, assimilation and of these practices. Also very distracted by your super handsome cat.
I'm so sorry. He is super
real quick,
handsome, and
what is your cat's name?
His name is Bathory. His name is
right,
Batty for short, and then Bathory James when he's bad.
Bathory James.
Oh my god, Bathory James. Okay, so you'll have to send us a photo that we can put on our Instagram. He crawled behind, he like slinked behind Lauren while she was talking and just sat there next to her while still fully on camera that whole time, just posing like a magnificent beast. What
he is. He's
so
a
handsome.
20-pound long-haired black cat.
With the
he
eyes
is in
are
charge. Yeah,
No.
it's
striking.
beautiful. I'm a two
And he
black cat
desperately
kinda
wants to
girl.
cuddle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at him. He's
His giant Muppet paw is just kind of grabbing my back right now.
He's the star. He's the real star here. That's really
No offense.
Catherine, please
Aries.
tell us about your practice.
He's coming in.
He's like coming to the microphone. What was I even talking about? Oh, exchange. Yes. Anyways, I totally love that. I think that's so important. I think witchcraft as activism, as generosity, as mutual aid is such an amazing, wonderful use of the practice. So let's pivot. But though we can speak more on that. But I really also want to get to that ancestor work, because I love ancestor work. I think that's so fascinating. What does that look like for you? How did you get into that?
Okay, so I grew up mad. And I grew up mad because I knew that all of the women in my family were getting screwed. And I don't know that I had the words for it, but I knew it was happening. And it was difficult for me to watch and not be very, very frustrated by it. It's why I sort of hate many of the holidays. It felt like a lot of the men in my family would come in, they would eat the food, not do any dishes, pass out on the couch, not even be fun to be around. And so like my resentment is strong. And so strong, it is a motivating factor in my craft. And so for a long time, I was a poet. And I tend to be a bit of a poetry cicada. I do like 8 years on, and then 8 years I go underground. And one of my emergence poems was "Ask About the Women in Your Family," and it was really, I lost my grandmother when I was 5 years old, and it felt like nobody talked about her. And nobody told stories about her, or if they did, it was always kind of in this utilitarian way. And so some of this is, I think ancestor work is like justice seeking for your stories and your history, because it's like the way in which you can kind of better defend yourself. And I think that a lot of people that are witchy tend to one, kind of fear ancestor work in general, because everyone's like, I'm going to find out something bad. And like, you're going to find out a lot of bad things. That's like the human experience. People are bad. And then they're also great. So it's like, that becomes really, really important. And it became really important for me as somebody who's not like a traditional pantheon person and who's mad at her family a lot, to know what to do with that anger and that frustration and that sadness and filling in the gaps of trying to piece together who I am as a person. And poetry is just this really great medium for people to do that, because a lot of witchy people are very poetic. And a generative poetry like experience where they get to come together and like do meditative practice and like consider like answering kind of questions for themselves through like a crafting practice, a creative medium and expression. And poetry, I mean, it doesn't pay, so it's definitely the work of the people. And it's about
you gotta love it.
Yeah, right. It's this expressive connection. And so that's really kind of been an important tool for me and for others, is to really kind of creatively engage with this particular practice, because a lot of people don't want to know about like their ancestors, because they don't know about their ancestors, or they might be just sort of like cut off in this particular way. And I think I do tend to subscribe to the belief, especially as like a white person, that the decolonial work that you have to do has to be in kind of dismantling, one, your fear around your own whiteness and the guilt around your own whiteness. You're never going to get rid of it. Like you sure, but you can make it at least not everybody else's problem. Ideally. Yeah. And ultimately, like for a lot of people that I know that I meet with a lot of anxiety, especially around other people's cultures, they're like, I'm worried that if I learn about it, I'll steal it. And I'm like, so that's something to really interrogate, is like the colonizing, thieving mind of like, how do I engage with something while appreciating it and not taking from it, and then from there kind of moving backward to being able to examine it. And there's a lot of really people that were so wonderful in my life that have moved on, and there were a lot of people that were bad in my life that have also moved on, and I can feel that both of them owe me, and they can make it up to me by helping me now. And that becomes an important part of like kind of engaging with my own cultural heritage. And because a lot of my practice is shaped by like what happens when my family hits Ellis Island. It's not this mythological old country that I'm trying to like access that no longer exists in the modern world, but one that has been like, shaped by cultural institutions on this land and this country, and how important it is for me to be present in that country right now and be present for that. And what that means, in my contributions to it and my contributions to my community. So it's big, heavy stuff. So poetry is a lot easier to just start with. Is like kind of considering like who could be talking to you, what could they be telling you, what stories are important, and building your own kind of story elements from that in a poetic context.
That's fascinating. Can you take us a step back and like just walk us through what is that process? So you are kind of communicating, channeling, like intuiting messages from your ancestors through poetry. Like what does that process look like? It's like,
so poetry is like a very image-based medium, and I find that a lot of people really kind of I think when we think about talking to ghosts, or we're talking about energy, or we're talking about space, we are thinking Casper, which boy, oh boy, that could be really cool. I can't say that's ever been my experience, but a lot of it is working in images and sensations and kind of physical emotions that are kind of coming up. So if you wanted to like try to like, through like a dumb supper or something, kind of sit down with a particular ancestor, you could definitely try to do that and kind of, do kind of like this meditation where you kind of write down all of the images that are kind of coming to mind, or like kind of all of the sensations, or even kind of hearing any stories that fill in the back of your mind, right? Where it's kind of not in kind of your thinking brain, but in kind of your like emoting and becoming brain. But I have found for me that it's in those in between moments where you're kind of in the middle of doing things. This is where craft becomes really important, where your hands are busy and then all of a sudden something. And if you are writing and you have a pen in your hand, you're able to kind of record these things that are potentially really, really important for you to kind of access your ancestral pantheon, so that when you do want to cast a spell, or you want to like help people or create a salve or a balm or something, you can call on the herbalists in your lineage, or the people that were nice to you, and really kind of pull them into the craft that you're doing.
I love that. That's so cool. That's I feel like I have so much homework to do after talking to you.
That's always
I'm like,
the thing
ooh.
that I worry about, is I'm like, the whole point is to have fun.
Yeah, no, but like in the best way, but like in the ADHD like excited way, not like oh I have to do
like
it
the time to make a new craft way.
They're like, ooh, let me abandon all my other half done things to do this.
I will say, yeah, I think a really important part if you become like a craft witch is that some of them you're just not going to want to do. The dopamine will be over. You're never going to want to do it again. Release it. It's okay.
Yeah. I love that. We all give you permission to release that thing.
Yeah.
That's really hard sometimes to do.
So I want to move towards drawing a card, but first I want to talk about the deck itself. So how did it come to be? Was this an idea you had? Did the publisher come to you? Tell me everything.
Simon Element actually came to me, and so they published Diana's memoir, The Witching Year, which I do recommend, especially for any like newbies. It really follows kind of the year of living biblically, but kind of from a very like witchy lens. And I'm in it by name in there because I'm very vain. And so
I love that. I have never once said no when someone was like, should we put your real name in? I'm like, put it in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gotta get that credit. Praise King. We didn't even talk about Praise King. Okay, go on.
That's true. I'm a good friend of Diana's, so I got to see the book before everyone else. And I did at one point say, I'm like, love this Lauren character. Think she's great. She's talking a lot. You could cut some of this.
That's very noble of you.
But Simon Element came to me and kind of pitched it as an idea. They were like, okay, so like, what do you do? Like, what do you do with spells? Like, what if we like kind of worked in the, like created a deck and it was like for spells, like what would those be? And then I drew up an entire plan and I then I wrote a lot of the spells and then spent a lot of time editing out things because you have to fit it on the card, which was kind of the hardest thing. Is it's like the ultimate kill your darlings. I had so many like beautiful quotes, all of them are gone. But at the same time, I think it ended up stronger for it. It gives the practitioner more opportunity to really kind of like feel and engage with the card in a way that was really, really important to me, as it's like, you know, your color associations and what things mean should kind of harken back to something that's personal to you. Like, what was the color of your blanket when you were a kid? Like, what was your favorite like smell of like at your grandmother's house? Like, things like that kind of become important to shaping how you customize and personalize your own spell work. And so that's kind of how the deck came to be. And and then you can use it as an oracle deck. There's all sorts of things, and it's kind of a good check-in, especially around like, the new moon is soon. It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then full moon, and so you can kind of figure out while working with the deck like what you need to bring in and what you need to get rid of, and like what you need to prioritize. And so I always like to use it for that.
I love that. Yeah, I was going to ask like what's the best way to work with it. So if someone has your deck, when they feel called upon to practice, they can like kind of just pick one, or like obviously they can also just use it to as a resource, when they
a lot of flip through to problem solve. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's like you can do it kind of just because you're like, I want to do some magic and I want to get in the practice of doing magic, and some of it is just I lost my job and I need to get something done right now. And usually money magic is the one that drives a lot of people to magic,
of
because
course.
One, we always need it, and two, like I think where we have a lot of shame or embarrassment around like love magic in this weird way, like just like how everybody that goes to get a tarot card reading always wants to know about love, but they never ask about love.
Everyone has a crush. No one wants to say they have a crush.
100%. 100%. I get it. I'm in my mid-30s. It is embarrassing. But I have something for everybody, including things like, kind of health and wellness things. So if it's like, I want to make a craft, I want to do a spell, but I don't know that I need to do a money bowl right now. But I can make, like a beautiful bath for myself, things like that.
Love. And on that note, shall we draw one?
Yeah.
Sort of channeling the energy that the listeners, the group, the room, the world needs for the week.
Yes, exactly. All right. All right. And Ooh, good sleep spell. How's everybody's dreams lately?
Oh my God,
Mamma
they're
mia.
terrible. I'm so excited for this.
I really like this art too for these
Beautiful.
particular kinds because it's got a teapot and then bones on it. It's heavily inspired by
Extremely
the backs
cute.
of playing cards. But yes, a good sleep spell to
Amazing.
banish nightmares and also sleeplessness.
Oh,
And so it's got a caffeine-free tea that you like, and a beloved drinking vessel or mug. So something very, very basic, something you've got in your house.
nice.
Step 1, fix yourself a caffeine-free tea and sip it slowly and make a ritual of the process. Step 2, get into bed and lie still, comfortably. Spend 5 minutes, 5 full minutes, ADHD people, just breathing and resting, letting your mind zoom around until it tires itself out. And then step 3, constrict your toes for a full breath and then relax them for another breath. Repeat. Flex your calves for a breath and then relax them for a breath. And then I map all the way through up through the body. So you've got, this is kind of like this whole physical process that you do. And then step 4, repeat step 3 as many times as necessary or until you get too tired to continue.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. It's so accessible, and I love that, it's not intimidating. We're working with very simple materials and like
Yes.
that you have in your own home. And even if you're not like full out witchy, these are also just really great mindful practices to do, which I always really feel like witchcraft is really just really like specific thoughtfulness, mindfulness. Yeah. So I love it. That's great. I'm going to do
It's the
that
perfect
tonight.
gift for somebody you like and somebody you hate. Somebody you like and somebody you like because you want them to have good things and know how to make good things for people, and somebody you hate because it'll make them a better person. Because for the the first 10 cards, I really call people to the carpet.
Nice. I mean, that is a selling point.
Yeah.
The holidays are coming up. You got a stocking stuffer for everyone on your list.
That's right. Absolutely.
So where can they buy this oracle
Absolutely.
deck?
So you can get it at your local indie, which I encourage you to do,
Yes,
and anywhere that books are sold. You can
What's it
also
called
get it
again for everyone?
It is called Spells for Success. 40
Spells for
spells to
success.
manifest to set intentions and manifest everyday wins. You can also get it for those of you in the Bay Area at the wine bar Golden Sardine. And I don't know if you all know this, but it's a poetry bookstore, and you can put poetry books on your tab. It's very, very, very
amazing.
cool.
Oh my God.
Man, the West Coast is so cool. Where else can they find you, Lauren?
Yes, I can be found on most social media platforms. Well, 2 of them. So Instagram and TikTok at Fuck Yeah Lauren Parker. I am fairly prolific on Instagram and pretty bad at TikTok, but there you go. That's the way. And then also at my website, laureneparker.com. I've also got a newsletter that I only put out once a month because who can stand to get one more email? And it's all witchy stuff. So if you like witchy things in your inbox once a month and no more times, that's the thing for you.
Well, I'm definitely signing up. We'll have all your links on our website at witchcastpodcast.com, as well as we'll tag you on our Instagram at witchcastpodcast as well. Amazing. And
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
You. And hey, listeners, while you're out there on the internet, you should check out Lauren. You should check out the Witchcast Instagram. And, you can always leave us a 5-star review if you wanted to. Just like a quick thought. It really helps other people find us and makes our day specifically. And also don't forget that we have a live show at Littlefield on Monday, October 27th. I would love to see you there.
Doors at 7, show at 8. Please come. The ticket link is on our bio at Witchcast Podcast on Instagram.
And until next time,
Hex yeah!
Heck yeah. Nonconformist.
'Cause it's Witchcast.